All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We'd like to welcome you to our stream. This is your host of the evening, DJ Just Jay with Just Dimes ENT. We are representing the Soto podcast that speaks and advocates for children first. We're going to talk about this little girl here. Her name is Maleah Davis, 4 years old, out of Houston, Texas. Of course, this really hits home because we keep having stories coming out of Houston. Me and my brother Tommy were out in Houston at least twice very recently. So this really kind of bothers me. Not Houston, but we were in Texas twice. We were in Dallas once, Houston once, but I've been to Houston twice. And this really kind of bothers me because we keep having these stories coming out of Houston and we keep ending up in these situations where I've told you guys it is very dangerous for women that have these kids that keep putting them around these random dudes that y'all are dating and sleeping with and stuff like that, over having the kid around the biological father. I think it's very crazy the fact that we will put the biological father through hell, but we will let this baby around some dudes you really don't know. We're going to get into that. We're going to talk about this. This is coming out of Sugar Land, Texas. If you guys are not familiar with Sugar Land, that's why I titled it Under Houston, because Houston and Sugar Land, it ain't that far apart. You're talking about maybe 20 miles. It's considered within that same vicinity. The stepfather of missing 4-year-old Maleah Davis. Understand, she's very young. She's a baby to me, 4 years old. Originally, officers told officers that he was attacked while checking his tire over the weekend. But Sugar Land police say that his story has changed multiple times when they questioned him. So he gave a statement and changed his story. Now this baby has not been found yet. They have been scouring the city and the surrounding areas looking for this baby. They have not found her yet. So of course, if he lies, that makes him a prime suspect. While you guys are here, do me a favor and click the thumbs up. It'll share our stream. That's why I asked you guys to click the thumbs up. It'll also let other people know that we're live telling the story. So if you guys could, you don't have to donate to the show, but if you guys would, please hit the thumbs up. We need as many people to hear this story as possible, because somebody might hear this and they might realize, oh, that's who we're looking for, okay? So please, let's do that. Now, according to police, the guy's name, the stepfather, Darion Vence. I'm going to show you his face again so you can know exactly who we're talking about. The stepfather in this case, that's the actual father. Let me get his face back up on the screen here again. That's going to be this guy right here. I don't know if I have a better picture of him in here or not. Let me see if I can. Right here. The fool with the smashed up face. That's Darion Vence. And he showed up at Sugar Land Methodist Hospital on Saturday night where an off-duty officer noticed his head. He had a fresh wound on him. And he claimed to be the victim of a roadside attack by 3 Hispanic suspects the day before while he was on his way to pick up the girl's mother from Bush Intercontinental Airport. Now, why does that sound familiar? Does that not sound familiar, especially coming out of Houston, Texas? Where are my Houston people at? Doesn't that sound like a story that we recently did here on the Soto podcast? Do you guys remember a little baby by the name of Jasmine Barnes? Does that sound familiar? Does it also not sound familiar that we also had a story where the mom tried to blame some random white man for shooting up the car when it turned out to be 2 black guys? And here you have a story where Darion Vence is trying to say that he was attacked by 3 Hispanic men randomly the day before he was supposed to go pick up his girl's mom from Bush Intercontinental Airport. But that's the story he told. Now, he also initially stated that Vence was with Maleah and his 1-year-old son when he was left unconscious. He stated that he regained consciousness late Saturday afternoon on the side of the highway on Highway 6 near First Colony Mall. That also sounds familiar because we've heard stories like this before. His son was with him, but Maleah was not. Also, Another big red flag. Now, Vence's son is in the care of a relative while authorities in Texas Search, EQUUSEARCH, combed the surrounding area for the missing girl. And I'm going to tell you guys, on their Facebook page, they did a lot of posting about this story because they're trying to elicit help, and we hope that more people will pitch in on this, okay? Now, on Wednesday, the Sugar Land Police Department revealed the original story had changed while Vence was questioned. Now, during the initial interview, the man's story did change several times, and some of what he told us just didn't add up. That's coming from Doug Adolph. So you guys always wonder where I get my information from. He is the spokesperson for the Sugar Land Police Department. Doug Adolph. All right? Or Adolph. Or Adolph or Adolph. ADOLPH. Now, Houston police took command of the investigation since the attack reportedly happened in the city limits. I told you guys it's pretty close. SLPD also revealed the family's silver Nissan Altima. It's a 2011 Nissan Altima tag. Wait. Let's go back. Go back. Don't rush off on me. As you guys can see right there, that's the Nissan Altima right there that they're talking about. And it's a 2011, and it was reported stolen after the attack on Vence and was seen driving around Sugar Land at 3 p.m. Saturday, just several hours before he told police that he so-called regained consciousness. All right? Now, this was also the truck that he said, or similar truck that he said was involved in this thing. But this is coming from a dude that we believe is lying. So far, he's not facing any charges, and police have not considered him a suspect in Maleah's disappearance. Now, that part about it is weird because I think he should be. Now, on Tuesday, Maleah's biological father, let me see if I can get a picture of him on the screen so you guys can take a look at the biological father. And that is a beautiful baby. I don't understand why anybody would want to hurt her. What did she do that was so wrong? I'll never understand. This is the biological father by the name of Craig Davis. You guys will not find more stories that will give you guys pictures and actual names of these people when a lot of times in the news they try to retract those things. That's the biological father, Craig Davis. And he spoke for the first time since the search began. And he wanted to speak directly with Vence about what happened. And I'm a father, I don't blame him. Because this is who the mother chose. That's the mother. We're going to talk about her in a second. Her name is Brittany Bowens. That's the mother. That's the biological mother. All right? Now, the father said, I'm not putting the blame on anybody. I just need the questions that aren't answered to be answered. There are so many unanswered questions. It's not for the public to answer them for me. It's not for the police to answer them for me. It's not for the news to answer them for me. It's for Darion to answer for me. And I don't blame him. That sounds like a father that is probably going to hurt that man if he ever sees him. And I don't blame him. Wednesday marked 5 days since Maleah was seen alive. Flooding from Tuesday's severe weather forced crews to suspend their search. And if you guys are familiar with Houston, you know when it rains, it literally pours in Houston. And it makes a lot of roads impassable, right? You guys have heard this before. Now, the Houston Police Department say that officials issued an Amber Alert this past Sunday morning for Davis after Vence reported his stepdaughter missing on Saturday night. And I hate the fact that they keep referring to that as his stepdaughter. I just don't like that. Telling investigators that 3 men abducted him and 2 children Friday evening. Now, investigators initially say that they weren't considering Vence as a suspect, even releasing a photo of him on Twitter that showed an injury to his forehead, which you guys saw. Now, I realize that there are a lot of blanks in that story, but we're hoping that the public can fill in the blanks. And this is coming from Sergeant Mark Holbrook, said at a news conference on Sunday. Now, volunteers from Texas EquiSearch searched the woods and grass near Highway US 59 and Greens Road on Monday for any evidence that could point to Davis's location. All right. This is a combination of the stepfather and the real father. And you can see these are pictures of them literally out in the streets and in the woods trying to find this baby and hoping not to find a body. That's what we're hoping. We're just hoping that we find this body. We are hoping that this little girl is still alive, and we're hoping that somebody watches this story, sees the vehicle, knows something. If somebody saw something, we're begging you, please say something. Please, if you know anything. And we're going to get you contact information where you can contact. Now, here is the part that I want you guys to listen to. While we have about 263 people, if we would, please get the thumbs up. I know we don't have a lot of thumbs up, but for the people that are watching, what that does is for the people that are not getting notifications, it'll let them know that we're live telling the story of this baby. So just pitch in by just clicking the thumbs up if you guys would, okay? Please do that for me. For anybody that's sending support, I'm going to read those here in just a little bit. So if you guys would, bear with me. They are ringing my phone. So I will absolutely shout you guys out here in just a moment, okay? Here's the twist to the story. Here it is. You guys ready? We're talking about CPS again. Yes, Child Protective Services. They might have failed yet another kid. We just talked about a story last night where they failed another kid. Now we're getting ready to talk about this. Child Protective Service officials say that Maleah was returned to her home in February. This is from being 6 months after she was removed last August from her home when the agency invested allegations of physical abuse related to a very, very, very serious head injury that she sustained. And you guys saw those photos. If you did not see those photos, I'm going to put them back on the screen so you could see how badly damaged this baby was. And there was some photos I couldn't actually show you guys, but that's her. If we can go back just for a moment. This is her in the hospital. That's not even the worst photo. Let me see if I can get a more definitive photo so I can show you guys, because it was really, really bad. Give me just a moment. Let me see if I can find that photo. If not, then I'll just pull it from my archive real quick. Hold on. It only takes a moment. And again, for you guys that are watching, just hit the thumbs up. Share our stream. Share this story. If I can't find it, I'll just pull it up directly. Hold on just a moment. I know I don't have that many photos. I know I tend to download a lot of photos. That's another photo of her in the hospital, but that was kind of way after the fact. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. That's the mother. Because this thing was really, really bad. Here it is. Here it is, guys. Thank you for being patient. I want you guys to look at this. Yes, GSD mom says she had brain surgery. That's how bad it was. That is correct. Darcianne said it. She had brain surgery, and we believe that it was due to abuse. Look at this baby. Guys, we almost got about 300 people here. Please, look at my screen. Look at the screen. Look at your phone. Look at your computer. Look at this baby's face. What on God's green earth did Maleah do to deserve what she got? Y'all give me a moment. I'm going to go to the next photo. I want y'all to look at this baby's face. That's her with her father after this. Look at her face. What did this baby do to anybody that was that bad? I tend to get quiet when I get upset because I'm deeply bothered. I'm almost like a very short fuse, very emotional type of person. They did something so bad to this baby that she needed brain surgery. Do you guys hear me on that? Let's move on. She was returned to her home in February after being gone for 6 months because she was removed last August from the home when the agency investigated allegations. They have evidence. You saw her face. Allegations of physical abuse related to a head injury she sustained. Again, her mother's name. Let me get her photo on the screen so you guys can see mom. All right. You saw the dude that she was dealing with. This is the mom. Her name is Brittany Bowens. Brittany spelled traditionally. Bowens, B-O-W-N-E-S. Or excuse me, B-O-W-E-N-S. I spelled that wrong. My apologies. That's the mother. And she told the television station the injury was determined to have been caused by a fall, that she is currently terrified for her daughter. The mother has denied allegations that the child has been abused at home and says the head injury that led to those allegations was discovered only after a series of hospital visits. Again, Maleah is 4 years old and her two brothers. She has two brothers. So that means Brittany Bowens also has more kids. And they were removed from the home and placed with a relative last year after the allegations of abuse. The Texas Department of Family and Protective Services says an arrangement that continued until the judge ordered them to be returned home in February. A judge ordered their return home in February and called for Child Protective Services to visit the home at least once a month to check on the family. Do you guys understand what I just said? I try my best not to yell and scream and holler and get worked up, but it's working me emotionally. I know why it's hard for a lot of people to do these stories and do them properly, because it puts you in a space where it's very, very hard to deal with these emotionally and speak on this in a very tactful way. You guys understand where I'm coming from? We're talking about allegations, and the mother is saying nothing happened. She failed. Well, Child Protective Services said, well, something happened, and they took the kids out of the home for 6 months. The kids stayed with a relative, and then after 6 months, they said, let's put the kids back in that home. And now what happened? Now we have a situation where this dude is saying we don't know where the child is, and they're also saying they don't know how the head injury occurred. But now all of a sudden, this baby is missing. We're not putting two and two together here. Sugar Land, Texas, Houston, Child Protective Services. Why do we keep having these stories? We're not even doing these stories once a month. We're not doing these stories once a week. Can you guys confirm that in the chat? How often are we doing these stories? Somebody please tell them. For the people that are watching what y'all are typing, how often does DJ Just Jay tell this exact same story? Almost every single day that I stream, I could do these kind of stories where CPS failed these kids. It's not rare by any stretch of the imagination. Now, the mom spoke out on Monday to reporters making a plea that she just wanted to find my baby. Maleah is a sweet girl. She loves to dance. She's always happy. She's very helpful, and she has a beautiful spirit. The mom said this on Monday. Now, Holbrook said that the vehicle Vence was driving was a 2011 Nissan Altima, the gray one. You guys saw that picture. Is also missing, so we don't know where the car is. He said a traffic camera showed it driving through an intersection in Sugar Land around 3 p.m. Saturday, which you guys saw that screenshot. Maleah is described by police as having black hair, because obviously see that from the photos, brown eyes, and she is approximately 3 foot tall and weighs 30 to 40 pounds. Again, she's only 4 years old, and was last seen wearing a light blue Under Armour jacket, blue jeans, and a gray Under Armour tennis shoe with pink and white details. Detectives are asking anyone who saw Darion or Maleah between 9 p.m. on Friday and 6 p.m. on Saturday to contact Houston Police Department, HPD, Homicide or Crime Stoppers. Houston Police ask anyone with information about this case to contact this phone number, 713-308-3600. And again, the latest update is that Child Protective Services confirmed that missing Maleah Davis, age 4, and her 2 brothers, ages 5 and ages 1, were removed from the home in August of 2018 by CPS. Guys, this is not a coincidence. Let's go ahead and move forward with the fair usage and show you guys the actual news video. So I'm going to stop talking just for a moment while you guys hit that thumbs up. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. I'm sorry, Miss Crystal, you say you don't know why you're not getting the show notifications. Well, again, I asked people to just click the thumbs up. If they would just click the thumbs up, it will help notify more people. So that's why I say that. Click the thumbs up, because you see people are saying they didn't know we were live.
Tonight, the 4-year-old little girl at the center of an Amber Alert is still missing, and now a person of interest has been named in that case. Maleah's stepfather, Darion Vence, was the last person to see her, and police want to talk to him. Channel 2's Taisha Walker is live now with the latest on the search, and that includes a troubling CPS report. Taisha?
Lauren, all that severe weather that you guys have been talking about has put a damper on today's search. Right behind me, Texas EquiSearch wrapping up and packing up their command center right now. They actually moved it further south to this area where I'm at today, southwest Houston, from the other area by the East Tex Freeway where they've been searching for the last day and a half. I am told that they moved further south to this location because it's in a close proximity to where Maleah and her family lives.
A polygraph test is a great idea. That's what they should have did.
Through the mud and the rain, by ATV and by foot, searchers with Texas EquiSearch for a second day came up short in their quest to find Maleah Davis.
Did we possibly miss something? Possibly so, but I really don't think so. My heart's telling me no. Where do we need to go from here? Hopefully an investigation is going to lead us that direction.
Tim Miller, founder of Texas EquiSearch, says search crews found nothing that indicates the 4-year-old was abducted near Greens Road and the East Tex Freeway Friday night. 3 hours ago, they shifted their search further south in the backyard of the apartment that Maleah shared with her mother and stepfather, who is now considered a person of interest.
We were talking with the investigators. They felt as though this was a very wise decision to start here and start moving out from here.
How many of you people in the chat, I want y'all to vote and tell me, how many of y'all believe that he's more than a person of interest? How many of y'all believe that he did something to this baby? Because I do. That's my vote. Tell me what y'all think in the chat.
ATVs and on foot once again. Search crews are hoping to find Maleah and the silver car she was riding in before her stepdad says they were all abducted. And Sugar Land police tell me that the stepdad changed his story multiple times when they interviewed him Saturday night as he showed up to a hospital with a head injury. They would not go into specifics, but said several details were off in his story. Now, we do know, according to sources, that he has been named as a person of interest in this case, not a suspect, because he was last to see Maleah on Friday night. Reporting live here in Southwest Houston, Taisha Walker, KPRC.
An Amber Alert is in effect for a 4-year-old little girl in Texas after her stepfather says that she was kidnapped. Maleah Davis has not been seen since Friday night. Her stepfather said that he had pulled over to the side of a road when two men attacked him and took her. Janet Shamlian is in Houston with more on this very strange story. Janet, a lot of questions here. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Here at police headquarters, they are getting ready to resume the search for Maleah, saying today they will also be looking at surveillance video. And this morning, we're now hearing from her mother for the first time, who says she just wants her daughter home.
It's like a nightmare. It just keeps going and going.
Brittany Bowen says she is distraught over her daughter Maleah's disappearance.
What would you say to your daughter right now?
That mommy loves you.
And look, guys, y'all might be upset at me for saying this, but how many times have I told you guys, when you date thugs, you date death, and this dude is a damn thug. The mom would rather put her daughter in the hands of a man that don't give a crap about these kids, as opposed to the man that clearly cared about his kids, that was seen in the photos loving on his daughter even when she was in the hospital, and demanding answers from this so-called stepfather. But we have trouble putting this baby in the father's hands who helped create her. How many times have I told you guys that these so-called boyfriends and stepdads and fiancés will never care about these kids as much as the biological father? I say that, and you guys can say, well, it ain't all. Well, okay, it's not all. But prove me wrong by proving that you do care about these kids more. Because clearly he didn't.
And I'm sorry this had to happen to you.
The little girl's stepfather, Darion Vence, was the last to see her Friday night, telling police he was on his way with Maleah and her younger brother to pick up Maleah's mom from the airport. He says he pulled over, thinking he had a flat tire, and was then approached by two men in a blue Chevy pickup, similar to this one. Houston Police Sergeant.
Let me back something up. I just thought about something. Let's back this up for a moment. Let's use our rational mind for a moment, guys. I want y'all to look at this big old huge truck. The truck that's raised suspension, got the big tires on it. Just curious if his story is believable. How much sense does it make that these guys beat this dude up and stole this 4-year-old baby? They didn't steal his car, didn't steal any money from him, didn't steal his wallet. He apparently didn't have anything worth stealing, so they didn't steal the car or nothing. But they so-called stole this kid and beat him unconscious and left the other kid? And 3 random Mexicans was all riding in this truck, saw this guy changing a flat tire, which would have been easy to prove because all he would have had to do was show the tire that was flat, unless he had a pump on him, which I'm sure he probably didn't, or show that he took a tire off and put a spare on, which he didn't. You can easily call that bull crap.
Chevy pickup, similar to this one. Houston Police Sergeant Mark Holbrook.
One of them makes a comment saying that Maleah looks very nice, looks very sweet. The other male hits Darion in the head.
Vence allegedly told police he was in and out of consciousness at times in the back of the suspect's truck with the children.
That's bull crap.
He says when he woke up about 20 hours later on a highway, he had his young son in his arms, but no sign of Maleah.
So they take the girl and then leave the boy and then leave him intact? Like, how does that even make any sense? Thank you, CRRC. This is MAGA country. That sounds just like that. It sounds just like people are starting to think that these big lies and hoaxes are going to get over on the people. The only thing that got him out of this was the fact that they told him that he told the police this fake story, and they said, okay, well, maybe he's not the suspect. That's the only thing that kept them from keeping him detained.
Police are now looking for the blue truck and the family's car, a 2011 Nissan Altima. It was spotted on surveillance video Saturday afternoon. Police say Maleah had several brain surgeries, the most recent just last month. Family members are passing out flyers and pleading for anyone with information to come forward.
I have to be strong for her. I have to believe that she's okay. I have to, because that's the only thing that's getting me through this.
She put her baby in the hands of a thug. I'm sorry, Brittany Bowens. You make it real hard for me to believe that you cared about your kid when you know that you were screwing a damn idiot because you wanted to feel good about yourself and you felt like he made you feel good. These dudes don't care about y'all kids. You got to stop putting your kids around random dudes. Straight up.
Well, I can tell you, in speaking with the father and her extended family, this little girl is deeply loved by a large amount of people. He tells us he is heartbroken right now. He could barely come up with the words to speak with us. Here's what he had to say.
We know.
Listen again. This is the family on the father's side. I want y'all to listen to what they had to say. Let me take a quick pause and let me say thank you to Anitria. I'm not going to read your whole name out, but she hit us up on Cash App. Let me say thank you also to my sister Cynthia. She hit us up on Cash App as well as Jessica and Dennis. She's in the chat. And my guy Billy, thank you very much. My sister Egoos is me. Michelle is in the chat. Thank you to my brother, Mr. D. Stram, as well as, hold on, I remember this name. Let me see if I can remember it. I don't. Crap, hold on. I can't remember your chat name, but Janet, thank you. I'm not going to read out your whole name. And also to, I think this is the first time donator, Rude Gal. That is a first time donator, so thank you. Links are in the description box. Listen to what the family has to say on the father's side.
Surrounded by his family, Craig Davis spoke with ABC 13 in his first interview since his daughter's disappearance. Investigators say 4-year-old Maleah has been gone since Friday.
This is the father.
I haven't spoken to the public because I can't talk about my daughter I can't control my emotions. I can't predict myself. I break down and I cry.
In a video posted to Instagram, Davis shared sweet moments with his daughter as he anguishes over her whereabouts now.
Good. I love those videos, man, because that shows you how much these daughters adore their fathers. If I could show y'all videos of me and my baby, even now, my daughter is tall and she still jumps into her father's arms, almost looking me eye level. And she still acts just like a baby. Y'all have heard Tommy talk about that a lot. When these little girls love their fathers, they instantly become just little bitty babies. Love that interaction.
I break down and I cry.
In a video posted to Instagram, Davis shared sweet moments with his daughter as he anguishes over her whereabouts now.
Good.
Investigators say daughter as he anguishes over her whereabouts now.
Good.
Investigators say Maleah's stepfather was the last person to see her. Darion Vence told police he was driving to the airport Friday night with Maleah and his 1-year-old baby boy. He pulled off at Greens Road and 59 to check a tire, and that's when he says he was ambushed by 3 Hispanic men in a 2010 blue Chevy pickup similar to this one. Vence says the men kidnapped the family. He says he was in and out of consciousness and was dropped off in Sugar Land Saturday evening with the baby, but Maleah, he says, was gone. Desperate for answers, this father says he wants to speak with that stepdad.
I'm not putting the blame on anybody. I just need the questions that aren't answered to be answered. There are so many unanswered questions.
I know what kind of answers he wants. Brother, I understand. I understand.
And it's not for the public to answer them for me. It's not for police officers to answer them for me. It's not for the news to answer them for me. It's for Darion.
We have not seen him
to answer for me.
And the pressure to find her is intensified by the fact that she needs medical attention. Maleah recently underwent head surgery for a skull fracture from an accidental fall at home. Davis says even through her hospital stays, his daughter stayed strong and determined.
That was not an accidental fall. That was not an accidental fall.
Even through her hospital stays, his daughter stayed strong and determined.
Again, you guys, show some love for this story. Share it and just click the thumbs up so that way more people can know that we're live, okay? Help us out a little bit.
Even in pain, even in her injury, my daughter went through everything she went through, and it did not change anything about her.
CPS did investigate that head injury. It happened under the care of her mother and stepfather. She and 2 siblings were removed from the home in August, but returned in February.
It's a 2011 silver Nissan Altima. It's got to be somewhere around. Anybody who knows that vehicle, y'all are encouraged to call HPD or Crime Stoppers. The phone number 713-308-3600. If you see something, please say something.
There is a desperate search tonight for a missing 4-year-old girl in Houston. Volunteers are now joining Houston police at this hour, looking for Maleah Davis, who needs special medical care. Her stepfather says she was abducted by 3 men in a pickup truck after he says they were targeted on the highway. ABC's Maggie Rulli is in Texas tonight.
Tonight, the search for 4-year-old Maleah Davis intensifying outside Houston.
I just want to find Maleah. I just want to find Maleah.
She requires constant care after multiple brain surgeries. Maleah's stepfather, Darion Vence, says,
I want you guys to remember when they're talking about these multiple brain surgeries, understand that Maleah was taken out of her custody. That's a fact. And placed with relatives for 6 months behind that head injury incident. So before y'all get to feeling bad for the mom, we have to understand what the real facts are. Don't use your heart, use your logical mind, and know that custody was taken from her for 6 months by CPS, and CPS 6 months later put this child back in her custody, in her boyfriend's custody, and now we can't find the goddamn kid. We can't find Maleah. Everybody understand that? Before we go feeling bad for the mom?
I just want to find Maleah.
She requires constant care after multiple brain surgeries. Maleah's stepfather, Darion Vence, says he was driving with Maleah and her 2-year-old half-brother to pick up Maleah's mother at the airport when he stopped to check a tire. He says that's when a blue pickup, similar to this one, pulled up.
2 Hispanic males get out. One of them makes a comment saying that Maleah looks very nice, looks very sweet. The other male hits Darion in the head.
He says he was beaten unconscious, waking up on the side of this highway nearly 24 hours later on Saturday night. His 2-year-old with him, but his car and Maleah gone.
How much sense does that make? Listen again.
24 hours later on Saturday night, his 2-year-old with him, but his car and Maleah gone.
That makes no sense.
We'd love the public to help us so we can fill in the blanks in this story.
David, Maleah was reportedly removed from her family's home last August amid allegations of physical abuse related to her head injury. David, the family was later cleared. David?
Maggie Rulli tonight. Maggie, thanks.
Let's move on to the next one. We're almost done, guys. I'm going to let y'all hear a little bit more from the mother, and I want y'all to make a judgment call in the chat. We're going to make a judge on this. Guilty or not guilty? Listen to the mom and what she has to say. Let's listen. Again, you guys, while y'all are waiting, click that thumbs up.
I don't want to do any questions. Not right now. I just want to let everybody know about the flyer. Is that okay?
Before y'all go feeling bad for her, remember, she lost custody. That means CPS actually found something that was bad enough to take the kid out of her home. Think about that.
My name is Brittany Bowens. And it's spelled Brittany. My last name is Bowens, Bowens. I'm Maleah's mother. This is the flyers that we're passing out right now down here in City Hall in Sugar Land. If anybody wants to come out and join and support us, I would greatly appreciate that. I just want to find Maleah. I just want to find Maleah.
If you guys see a tear come out of her face, type it in the chat. Let me know when y'all see a tear drop from her face, please. Somebody.
And I love her so much.
I'm waiting.
I love her so much. If there's anybody that can help me, please.
Oh, there go one. I saw a tear.
I just want to find my baby. I just want to find her. Help me find her, please. Help me find her.
I'm going to tell you guys something. You know how we don't get to a point of having to find our kids? Don't put your kids around thugs, because guess what happens when you date thugs? When you date thugs, you date death. I want you guys to know that that came here and started on my show. That's something we created. When you date thugs, you date death. Brittany Bowens decided that she liked thug dick and went and put her kid around a thug that probably abused the kid, and she probably hid and covered it up, because it seems like most of the stories that I do about these mothers in Houston, Texas specifically, lie and cover up what they did. You guys remember when the mother blamed the death of her 2-year-old kid and said that the kid jumped off a 2-story balcony when the mother actually was borrowing belts from the neighbor and beat her kid to death? You guys remember that story? That was also out of Houston. You remember when the mother of Jasmine Barnes lied and said that some random white man shot up her truck when it turns out that it was probably some dudes that she knew turned out to be 2 black dudes? You remember when she lied to cover that up? Seems to be a Houston trend. Must be something in the water. I don't know. Let's listen to the rest of the story. And click that thumbs up while you guys are here, all right? Do that for me.
Anything helps. Share a post, share the flyer, anything. Anything helps, and it's greatly appreciated, and I mean that from my heart. I mean that with every bit of me.
Oh, for sure. I'm sure she loves her kid, but I'm sure she don't love her kid enough to not put her kid in harm's way. That's the problem. And what's up, Rude Gal? I'm gonna rinse you up for donating, so let me hit you up real quick.
I'm good.
I know you don't want to talk about the investigation, but can you just tell us what Maleah's like as your daughter?
Maleah is a sweet girl. She loves to dance. She's always happy. She's very helpful. You know, she's full of life. She has a beautiful spirit.
We have a couple people telling us, let me see, Tata is giving us a couple places to check. If you would, oh, really, Rugal, put the link in the chat. If you have the GoFundMe, put the link in the chat. You have a moderator wrench now, so if you know where that link is, post it in the chat. We're going to pull that up. Oh, if she has a GoFundMe up, we're going to destroy that goddamn thing. So put the link in the chat if y'all can find it. Oh, this one's about to be a doozy, guys. This one's about to be good. For the people that have tips about what they think they should check, call in to 713-222-TIPS or 713-308-3600. Darcy Ann is putting it in there, as well as Miss June Bennett. Oh, yeah. Put that link in there if y'all got that GoFundMe. This is about to get good.
I don't want to do this anymore. I can't do this. I can't. I'm too I'm overwhelmed. I can't.
Oh, come on. Come on now. Come on, man. Come on. I'm sorry. I just don't believe it. If you guys have a blue wrench and y'all know where that GoFundMe is, find it. Take a moment. Find it. Even if you got to go away from the show for a moment. Find it and pull it up. I will pull it up while we play this next video. I'm going to find that goddamn It better not be a GoFundMe up. I'm telling you now, Brittany and the y'all family, you better not have a GoFundMe up. All of Soto Nation hell is going to break out on you if I find that y'all have a GoFundMe up. I'm telling you that, and that is my word. There better not be a GoFundMe up, because it will be coming down. That's my promise.
But right now, the Amber Alert for that 4-year-old girl, Maleah Davis, been missing 4 days now. Still no sign of her.
We have team coverage, but first, we do want to get you caught up on how all of this unfolded. It started Friday. Maleah's stepfather, Darion Vence, says he was on his way to Bush Airport to pick up Maleah's mother around 9 p.m. He heard a noise and pulled over at Greens Road in 59. That's when he says 3 men approached him. One hit him in the head, and he lost consciousness.
Part of what is puzzling police is a big time gap. Time-wise, from Saturday evening, Vince says he woke up around 6 o'clock on Highway 6 at 59. Then he said his son was there, Maleah was not.
And then Sunday morning, an Amber Alert was issued for Maleah. Sunday is also when police revealed that Maleah had brain surgery just last month.
Today, police are telling Channel 2 the stepfather is now considered a person of interest in the case. We'll begin our live team coverage with Taisha Walker live in Sugar Land with the latest on the search efforts. Taisha?
Bill, the search for Maleah wrapped up a little bit earlier today than searchers would have liked due to the severe weather that we are experiencing. But throughout some part of the day, they did move the search here to the southwest Houston area, about a 5-minute walk away from the home that Maleah, her mother, and her stepdad all share.
But right now, the Amber Alert for that 4-year-old girl, Maleah Davis, been missing 4 days now. Still no sign of her.
We have team coverage, but first, we do want to get you caught up on how all of this unfolded. It started Friday. Maleah's stepfather, Darion Vence, says he was on his way to Bush Airport to pick up Maleah's mother around.
That don't make no sense. People coming in here, and they could just collect thousands and thousands of dollars, but people out here doing real work can't turn around and get that kind of support. That's absolutely asinine.
Around 9 p.m. He heard a noise and pulled over at Greens Road in 59. That's when he says 3 men approached him. One hit him in the head, and he lost consciousness.
Part of what is puzzling police is a big time gap. Time-wise, from Saturday evening, Vince says he woke up around 6 o'clock on Highway 6 at 59. Then he said his son was there, Maleah was not.
And then Sunday morning, an Amber Alert was issued for Maleah. Sunday is also when police revealed that Maleah had brain surgery just last month.
Today, police are telling Channel 2 the stepfather is now considered a person of interest in the case. We'll begin our live team coverage with Taisha Walker live in Sugar Land with the latest on the search efforts. Taisha?
Bill, the search for Maleah wrapped up a little bit earlier today than searchers would have liked due to the severe weather that we are experiencing.
I'm going to take a pause right now, and I'm going to let you guys know that I'm filling it out right now. I'm filling out the damn report the campaign my damn self. If y'all need that link again, somebody post it in there. If anybody asks, just tag one of the moderators, and they'll give you the link to that GoFundMe.
But throughout some part of the day, they did move the search here to the southwest Houston area, about a 5-minute walk away from the home that Maleah, her mother, and her stepdad all share. It's been nearly 4 days since anyone has seen this 4-year-old. Those out searching for her say Maleah Davis could be anywhere.
As more time goes on, we're nearing day 4 in a couple of hours.
We are in trouble. Bottom line, we're in trouble. Of course, I believe in miracles, and we've had many of them. I don't think we're going to have a good ending. I hope we have an ending.
After looking for a day and a half in this wooded area off the East Tex Freeway and Greens Road, Texas EquiSearch moved their search south to this neighborhood that the 4-year-old and her family lives. Founder Tim Miller could only say that something in the investigation also shifted.
I don't believe that story, and I think there's some things in the investigation that may poke a few holes in that.
The focus remains on two things: finding Maleah and finding this silver Nissan that she was riding in Friday night before her stepdad says he was attacked and Maleah was abducted.
We got a big mystery. We got a missing 4-year-old girl and we got a missing vehicle. Are they together? I don't know. Again, I think that vehicle is a critical part of the search operation.
Miller tells me that search crews had several challenges today. The rain, the thunder, the lightning, and time was not on their side today. He tells me that weather permitting, they will resume the search here at the same location, about a 5-minute distance away from the apartment complex that Maleah's family lives, tomorrow morning at 8:30. Live
In the meantime, 4-year-old Maleah Davis has been missing since Friday, and Sugar Land police say her stepfather's initial story just isn't adding up. He told police he had been knocked out by 3 men and that Maleah was taken while he was unconscious. But after her disappearance, her stepdad showed up at a Sugar Land hospital. A police spokesperson says the details as to how he got there have changed.
And searchers looking for Maleah moving today from where her stepfather says she was kidnapped to where the family lives.
Jason Miles live near A-Leaf with more on this. Jason.
Hey there, guys. The head of EquiSearch, Texas EquiSearch, the volunteer group actually out here combing in the woods and other areas, just told me they're calling it for the day because of the weather, the severe weather we've been tracking. Long term, though, as far as this search goes, they say the weather may hurt them, but it will not stop them.
Less than a day after Maleah's mom made this emotional plea,
If there's anybody that can help me, please. I just want to find my baby. I just want to find her. Help me find her, please.
trained Texas EquiSearch volunteers continued their search, spending another morning in the woods near Bush Intercontinental Airport. And this afternoon, near the family's apartment, some 30 miles away on the southwest side.
This little girl is not in a place she chose to be. So we just got to figure out where that place is.
EquiSearch pretty much cleared the area where Maleah's stepdad claimed she was kidnapped by 3 men who beat him up. Searchers have also been looking for the family's missing car in area parking lots. Like in similar cases, detectives tell me those closest to Maleah have to be ruled out, which is why the search is now focused near the family's home.
Early on, I said that, we're certainly hoping for the best, expecting the worst, and I certainly expect the worst at this point in time.
I haven't seen Maleah's mother or family on either search scene, but they spent last night handing out flyers like the one the girl's mother clutched while crying.
I just want to find Maleah. I just want to find Maleah.
And again, Texas EquiSearch telling me just within the last couple of minutes that they are calling off the search today because of the severe weather. Meantime, we learned from Sugar Land police today that they initially kind of looked into this case after Maleah's stepfather checked into a hospital there on Saturday evening. They then turned it over to Houston police based on the story they told investigators there in Sugar Land, a story they considered a little sketchy. We'll have more coming up at 5 and 6. For now, reporting in the A-Leaf area, Jason Miles, KHOU 11 News.
We're all hoping little Maleah is found soon. Jason.
Right. Go ahead and go to this last video real quick. I'm going to let you guys watch this while I'm continuing. I'm about to wrap up with posting my report on this GoFundMe. I'm tired of people misusing GoFundMe. I've told you guys, and I'm dead ass serious about it. So let's go ahead and finish this thing out, and then we're going to wrap up.
This group of friends is handing out 100 flyers at Oyster Creek Park in Sugar Land. They hope to get at least one good tip leading to Maleah Davis's whereabouts in exchange.
They were mentioning a park close to Highway 6 and 59, and this was the first park that came to mind. It's a big park, a lot of grass, a lot of trails, and I figured we could pass the flyers out because this park is always busy.
4-year-old Maleah has been missing for 48 hours and counting.
The minutes are not like minutes. They're like an hour, and it's like long, and it's hard, and it's stressful, and it's crying, and it's frustration because why?
Maleah, her younger brother, and stepdad were heading to Bush Airport Friday night from Greens Road and 59 to pick up Maleah's mom. Stepdad told police he stopped the silver Nissan he was driving to check on a noise when he says 3 Hispanic men in a blue 2010 Chevy pickup hit him over the head. Police say the last thing he remembers is waking up 21 hours later by Highway 6 and 59 in Sugar Land. The men and Maleah were gone.
At this time, our main focus is on Maleah, where she is, if she's safe, and how we can get her home.
Dominique Bryant isn't just organizing this search party, she's also friends with Maleah's mom.
I'm a mom. I have a young child, and I can't imagine not knowing where they are.
She's a spunky little thing, you know, and she's beautiful. She's a beautiful energy. We just want to find her at this point.
The 4-year-old recently underwent brain surgery, so finding Maleah is even more dire because she requires constant care.
If you have her, just please drop her off somewhere safe. If you want to keep the car or keep whatever you found, that's fine, but we just want her back safe and sound.
This group of friends is handing out 100 flyers at Oyster Creek Park in Sugar Land. They hope to get at least one good tip leading to Maleah Davis's whereabouts in exchange.
They were mentioning a park close to Highway 6 and 59, and this was the first park that came to mind. It's a big park, a lot of grass, a lot of trails, and I figured we could pass the flyers out because this park is always busy.
4-year-old Maleah has been missing for 48 hours and counting.
The minutes are not like minutes. They're like an hour, and it's like long, and it's hard, and it's stressful, and it's crying, and it's frustration because why?
Maleah, her younger brother, and stepdad were heading to Bush Airport Friday night from Greens Road and 59 to pick up Maleah's mom. Stepdad told police he stopped the silver Nissan he was driving to check on a noise when he says 3 Hispanic men in a blue 2010 Chevy pickup hit him over the head. Police say the last thing he remembers is waking up 21 hours later by Highway 6 and 59 in Sugar Land. The men and Maleah were gone.
At this time, our main focus is on Maleah, where she is, if she's safe, and how we can get her home.
Dominique Bryant isn't just organizing this search party, she's also friends with Maleah's mom.
I'm a mom. I have a young child, and I can't imagine not knowing where they are.
She's a spunky little thing, you know, and she's beautiful. She's a beautiful energy. We just want to find her at this point.
The 4-year-old recently underwent brain surgery, so finding Maleah is even more dire because she requires constant care.
If you have her, just please drop her off somewhere safe. If you want to keep the car or keep whatever you found, that's fine, but we just want her back safe and sound.
I'm putting another link in there so they can find all of this stuff. But I have gotten really, really worked up over here. I really have. So let me give them this one last link to this other GoFundMe that we found real quick, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap up because I am extremely bothered by this. See if I can find it. Which one was it? Yeah, it was this one. So yeah, there were 2 campaigns that were created. All right, so there we go. So we're going to go ahead and send. So there you go. And it says, one of our trust and safety agents will be reviewing your inquiry and will respond if we have any further questions. Thank you for keeping GoFundMe a safe place to give. And that's what we're trying to do, man. We're just trying to make sure that campaigns that are legitimate get the support that they need, and the ones that don't, where people are trying to take advantage of the public's kindness, they got to go. They got to go. How many GoFundMe accounts? I know you just came in, but there were 2 GoFundMe accounts. One has already been taken down. The other one, a lot of us in the chat. I don't know how many people in the chat can confirm for me that they've already reported it. I have, and I saw at least about maybe 6 or 7 other people. So how many people in the chat have already reported it? Because I put the link to the other GoFundMe in there, as well as the link to the article from CPS that shows that they took custody of those kids from the mother. So why would you turn around and give the mother $25,000? Supposedly, you're going to hand over $25,000 to a mother who received custody of a kid that was already taken from the mother because of suspected abuse with the dude that she was living with. And now this dude can't be found, as well as this little girl can't be found. And there is no confirmation of this little girl being dead. She could very well still be alive. Plus, the fact that the services for searching for her are already paid for. Texas Equifax is already paid to search for her. That's already going. Sugarland, Texas is looking for her. They've already been doing this. The city of Houston, Texas is already searching for her. That's already going. So what is this single random person from Beverly Hills, California trying to collect $25,000 for? Sounds like bull crap to me. So in closing, I hope they find this dude. I think his story is straight up BS, because I want you guys to understand this. Let's go back for a moment while we wrap up. I want you guys to look at his face. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. I want you guys to look at his head. If you guys can't see that clearly, I'll get a better picture up for you guys. Give me just a moment. I'll get a better picture of him up so you can see it a little bit bigger and a little more clear. Right here. I'm going to cut off the edges so you can still see your chat, so what you guys are chatting. And let's clip the left a little bit. I want you guys to riddle me this. Riddle me this. That's right, Miss June Bennett. If they find the body of the baby, they're going to ask for another GoFundMe. That's what I'm saying. Like, this whole GoFundMe stuff, this stuff needs to stop. People need to stop using this as insurance and all of this stuff just to collect thousands of dollars of money from people that are giving it out of the goodness of their heart. You got to start looking more into this stuff before you just start funneling money into something that you don't know what it is. I want you guys to look at his face. How much beating up did this person take to knock a grown man unconscious multiple times from one smack in the head? I've been in fights before. I've been hit in the head before, pretty hard. Gotten into plenty of fights in my younger day, and I got into one fight when I was like 25 years old. That is one big, huge spot in the center of his head. For any of my hood people out there, thank you, Marcus. For all the hood people out there, who gets their ass whooped and knocked unconscious, or what we like to call in the hood, who takes a one-hitter quitter to the middle of the head like that and you're not completely unconscious multiple times? Uh-oh. Maybe if you were hitting the side of the head, you could be knocked unconscious around your temple. If you were hit across your chin hard enough, that could knock you unconscious. If you were hit in the back of the head, that could cause you to be unconscious. And what I'm not saying that he can't be, it's impossible to be knocked unconscious being hit in the middle of the head. What I'm telling you is that it's highly improbable. I think it's BS. And the fact that if these three dudes supposedly beat him up like he said, so you mean to just tell me all three of them came together and made like Voltron, like the Voltron Force Network, took all 5 fingers and put them together, all 5 hands, took them together, and everybody hit this fool in the center of the head one time? Is that going to get me flagged? Because I'm speaking logic over here. So they all came together with all of their brute Mexican force and hit him in the center of the head in one spot? Really? They hit him in one spot. I don't know what's wrong with these police. Maybe he talked to Sugarland police. Maybe he didn't talk to Houston PD. I don't think Houston PD is that dense. I really don't. I've never dealt with Houston PD before because I don't get in no trouble. But why wouldn't he be hit in the eye the side of the face more, something, some broken bones, hitting the chest, hitting the arm. Did he fight back? I mean, did you pinch him? Like what? Did you blow a breath on him? Like what did you do? Even if, yes, Notorious B, yes. Either he headbutted, okay. I can't even say he took something and hit himself in the head. What I think he did was he probably headbutted a wall. That looks like like somebody said in the chat earlier, like he headbutted a brick wall. There is his, what do you call it? Alibi. That's his alibi. It looks like he headbutted a brick wall. That literally looks like one spot where he just said, boom, one time. I want to know do we have any Mexican people in the audience? Since they said it was 3 Mexicans, where are my people from Houston at? How many people have y'all ever seen get into a fight and just 3 people gang up on one dude and hit a guy one time? He get jumped, but they only hit him one time. Or they all hit him in the same spot. Don't worry, I'll wait. Well, this is the thing, Notorious. It's not a Jesse Smollett or a Juicy Smollett, because this dude not only is lying about what he did, but he's now involved a 4-year-old innocent girl by the name of Maleah Davis, who we still need to find. To my Hispanics, to my Mexicans, to my Latinos, or anybody, to Lady La, to anybody, have you guys ever watched a group of people, 3 people in total, if you add him, 4 people get into a fight and they all hit him one time in the same spot? 6 fists, 1 punch. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's weird. Even if you've never been into a fight, most of you guys have logged into your Facebook, pulled up the app, and said, oh crap, there's a bunch of idiots fighting. Usually whenever you're fighting, there's usually a bunch of fists and punches thrown. Even if they kicked him in the head, they're not going to just kick him right in his forehead, right? Or am I tripping? Can somebody tell me, am I reaching? Am I reaching? He would have had rib fractures, black eyes, bruises. He would have been hit more places in his face. Thank you, Michelle. He had to have been hit in more than just one place. And in the center of his head, the likelihood of him being knocked out by 3 people is improbable. You guys have heard that term before? Improbable? Just meaning that it doesn't seem to follow a sense of logic. It doesn't make sense, and we haven't seen this type of thing really happen before. 3 people knocked this man out by hitting him all in one spot. What did they do? Grab his arms and hold him, and one dude rolled up his sleeves? He rolled up his sleeves, and he came and reared back, and he said, boom. And matter of fact, I'm going to point out something to you guys. If you notice the squareness, matter of fact, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you guys this before we wrap up. And I'd like to thank all you guys, especially my content creators that are here. Princess, Lady La, and Nat B. Anybody else, my brother, Relationship Rehab, Tommy Sotomayor, all of you guys that are here. I'm going to show you guys something. I'm going to show you guys a little something that maybe you did not notice about this, because nobody said it yet in the chat. I've been waiting to see what you guys are going to say. Notice the angle of the bruising. Do you guys notice that? Uh-oh. You're welcome. Let me take a bow. You're welcome. I believe we've just solved this case. Look at how square that is. Sub to me, screw you and your channel. You better get the hell out of here before I flag your channel, punk. Don't come over here with that bull crap. Talk about sub to you. Donate, do some work. Screw you and your stupid ass channel. We over here talking about a 4-year-old little girl, and you over here talking about your stupid ass channel. Look at how square that is. Anybody who's ever been into a fight, whether we have any boxers or whether you just been in fights or whether you from the hood and you know you had to get it in back in the day. Because there was times I had to get it in back in the day. I done been hit and I done hit folks. See those fists? See that? I want you guys to look at a normal fist where there are indentions and then you have knuckles. You also have curvature. That is a square hit. That is a flat hit. That is not a fist. He did not get punched. Unless they were carrying around a 2x4, that looks like he probably took himself and smashed his head into a wall to create an alibi. I think I've made my case. There are no indentions on his head. And if you look at those scrape marks look like he hit something like a wall, a brick wall that scratched his face. And it's only in that one spot. I rest my case. I think we've made a good case. And I'd like to thank you guys for listening to our stream. Thank you for everybody that shared it. And thank you for everybody that flagged down that Beverly Hills fake GoFundMe. If she don't like it, she can sue me. I don't give a crap because I'm ready for it. Because one thing that I don't do is I don't open my mouth about something I don't know. I don't talk about a story that I've not researched. I don't talk crap about anything unless I'm willing to back it up with truth, logic, facts, and understanding. We are here to advocate for her, and I hope to God and I pray that we find her alive. All we need is a chance. All we need is a chance. All she needs to be doing is breathing. All she needs to do is be having blood still pumping in her body. I believe that if we can find her, she can be saved. And I hope that this fool that has this girl or knows where this girl is turns her in and stops being a coward and becomes a real man, because most of these dudes didn't grow up with a father in their life and they don't know what it's like to be a man. Therefore, they don't value themselves and they don't value the value of life. This little girl was not his. He took this little girl away from her father. Again, his name is Craig Davis, and I'm sure he would love to see his baby again. I want to say thank you to everybody that came through to listen to the story. By the way, that's the end of the stream. Thank you guys so much. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. This is your boy DJ Just Jay. I'm signing out. Yes, we go hard in the paint because we advocate for children first. They matter because this little girl cannot speak for herself. She could not defend herself. But guess who can? We can. If you see something, please say something. If you guys need to contact someone, you can contact HPD or Crime Stoppers at the phone number 713-308-3600. Please see something, say something. Continue to be diligent. Continue to keep saving these children. We hope that we can find her. Thank you guys so much. That's the end of the stream.